With two vaccines being approved and using the mRNA technology, many people have doubts and fears about this new technology. Today, we will talk about vaccines and the traditional way of vaccines and this new technology and the difference. So, if you have a pathogen like COVID-19 and we want to make a traditional vaccine, usually this virus, we get it to grow in the lab in a lengthy process and then being isolated, weakened, or being killed. Or we have a piece of the virus, like the protein, being purified, made to a vaccine, and then given to the body. The body immune system would recognize something is not should not be there, and would mount an immune response, form antibodies against these materials, and form some immune cells, that is memory cells. And that's very important. This process takes up to a week. This is very important. Now if we get exposed to the actual virus, now the immune system already has knowledge about this virus and already pre-armed, and then can mount a very rapid and strong response against the virus, and we will be protected. And this is how vaccines work. The difference in mRNA vaccine, this is a technology that uses pieces of coding from the virus that would instruct our cells to create this protein in the cytoplasm. And these pieces of the mRNA would get degraded almost immediately. Now the cells would put all these proteins on the surface. These are harmless proteins and should not cause the disease. But at the same time, the body would recognize that this should not be there, and would have the same immune response that we just discussed. And the question is, why mRNA vaccine? It is very simpler and flexible way of creating vaccine. It's a rapid one, meaning it's taking less than 2 months versus 5-6 months in a traditional way of vaccines. And this is the New York Times coronavirus tracker, and you could see how many vaccines in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Only 2 have been approved using this technology, and that's because it is a rapid technology. And people are asking, how come we got this vaccine this quick? And the answer is, the scientists already knew about this technology and already were using it in different vaccines. They just deployed it on the coronavirus vaccine. Plus, the funding was very generous to get rid of this pandemic. So the funding for these different companies to get through these phases trial was definitely played a big factor. But during these two vaccines have passed through as we discussed in the past, through the same way that all vaccines get through, and they have now been granted the emergency approval, and people are being tracked, all vaccinated people, to see if they have any side effects of these rare side effects. Now, just recap, if you get a vaccine, you should not get the vaccine should not give you the COVID-19, or should not get you to be tested positive for the COVID-19. If you get a vaccine, it has nothing to do with the nucleus or the DNA, so your genome would be fine. This is something to be working in the cytoplasm, and these cells that would end up being destroyed. Third, if you get a vaccine, should I still be wearing the mask, washing hands, and avoiding crowds? And the answer is yes, because at this point we still have studies ongoing to know, if you get a vaccine, can you transmit the disease and not be symptomatic? And that's, hopefully we'll know about this soon. So I hope everybody stays healthy and safe, and thank you.